Now at 4, we are sweating through our highest heat indices in 10 months, and that humid heat's going to fuel some of these heavy storms you see to our west. We've got the storm timeline ahead.
And timely reminders as we deal with this dangerous heat. An ER doctor will be here with us on how to keep you and your loved ones safe.
And we have new updates on a construction project coming to Hamilton County, and we'll tell you how you can weigh in just a matter of hours.
Hey everybody, welcome to 13 News at 4 on a Wednesday afternoon. Lots to get to. We're glad you're here. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence. So of course we're going to talk about this heat and this humidity and when we might see some relief in just a moment. Also though, a new way to fill a critical shortage in Indiana's classroom.
Yeah, we're going to show you how a local university is hoping to help solve this. It has to do with fast-tracking career professionals into our local schools to teach STEM classes. Of course, that's science, technology, engineering, and math. That's also ahead. But we do want to begin with this dangerous heat and the chance for storms.
It's a weather impact alert day, which means our team is definitely on top of this weather system that we're experiencing right now. It is hot, it is humid,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, and it's that combination and, you know, the duration as well. This is now day 2. Tomorrow will be day 3. We will get a break here on Friday. But man, it takes a toll when you're outside. So I want you to be cautious of that. Make sure you're hydrating. If you got kids that have camps, practices, things of that nature, make sure they're taking breaks. Okay, this is what we're dealing with outside right now. Heat index flirting with 95 to locally 100 plus. When you take the temperature and you combine it with very high moisture level. These dew points now are in the 70s. They've been there, and they're going to stay there until we get into Friday morning. So we got to keep that in mind. It not only produces the high heat indices, it will lead to some heavy thunderstorms at times. So today, tomorrow, it is just miserably muggy. There's your break. There's your break as we go into Friday. To get to that relief, there's going to be a stormy price to pay. Right now, we don't have a whole lot to lift the air other than the heat itself. So that will minimize the prospects of thunderstorms here for most of us this evening. Not saying we're not going to have a pop-up. That is a possibility. Most of our action comes from what you see to our west here, where there's better lift. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued for Benton County, northwest Indiana. That's going to be with this lead complex, okay? Here's the level 2 risk for the northern half of the state, and the level 1 for the central and south central parts of the state. Could we have a few pop-ups here in the next few hours? It is a possibility. It's a low chance, but anything that develops will have severe weather potential with it. We believe that complex will be getting in here a little bit after midnight and as we go into pre-dawn tomorrow morning. So don't be surprised if you get this stuff waking you up tomorrow morning. One of 2 overnight rounds. We'll have to talk about that and your weekend forecast ahead in the 7-day outlook.
All right, Sean, we'll look forward to it. Thank you. As this heat and humidity continues to climb, doctors say it's not just uncomfortable, it can quickly become life-threatening, especially for children, older adults, and anyone working outside. According to the World Health Organization, heat stress remains one of the leading causes of weather-related deaths worldwide. And new research published just this week warns heat-related ER visits and hospitalizations here in the U.S. could more than double over the next 15 years as extreme temperatures become more common. Joining us now is Dr. Jeremy Gagan. He's here with us, an emergency room physician with Community Health.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is something that sneaks up on a lot of people. What makes heat and humidity so dangerous?
Well, in particular, right now what we're dealing with, the human body cools through evaporation, sweating. And once you get above a relative humidity of about 75%, it becomes very difficult for the human body to cool off. And so what we're dealing with right now means any of those people that you had mentioned who are at risk, people working outside, the elderly, the people, those with chronic conditions such as heart disease or respiratory illnesses, they have a very hard time coping with these changes if they're not in a cool place.
We've heard there are things that we can do to stay cool, like wearing loose-fitting clothes, staying hydrated, of course, drinking plenty of water. What else can we do?
Well, it's really important to have a place to go that is cool and not not just stay in wherever you are and feeling hot. Get into a place that's cool, find a cooling center, obviously have air conditioning if at all possible, or if you can't, have a fan, make sure those windows are open, things like that.
Yeah, I'm always trying to remind myself and my loved ones, drink before you're actually thirsty, just to try to stay in front of things.
And we also had up there, avoid alcohol. Why should we avoid alcohol in this
Well,
heat?
the alcohol is not going to be effective hydration. It's actually going to act as a diuretic, or in other words, make you go to the bathroom more and dehydrate you more than drinking water.
Okay.
Caffeine has a similar effect too, not as pronounced.
All right,
Look at us.
take a break with the Pepsi.
Okay. Also, talk to us about the warning signs that we should be looking out for.
So early on with heat, you're going to have a lot of, obviously you're going to be sweating, you're going to feel hot. When you start to see changes of mentation, when people are getting confused, loss of coordination, and oddly they might feel almost cold and stop sweating, those are the signs: confusion, not sweating. Get them to the emergency room. But first get them to a cool place.
All right, hopefully nobody gets to that point. Thank you so much, Dr. Jeremy Gagan with Community Health. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right, want to get to breaking news right now on the city's south side, where police are on the scene of a deadly crash. I want to give you a live look here. This is near West Sumner and South Harding Street. So this crash happened about an hour ago. The intersection still shut down, and police say it will remain closed for several hours. And our crew on the scene tells us that it appears a motorcycle is involved in this crash. Again, a deadly crash near West Sumner and South Harding on the south side. We'll, of course, keep an eye on this and let you know as soon as we learn more. And Sean's keeping an eye on traffic across the city as well.
Yeah, some other breaking news here. I'm going to take you back to earlier today. This is 465 near West 10th Street. That is a northbound lane there. You can see tanker fire. Thankfully, no one injured, and they were able to get this fire out rather quickly in relative terms. At one point, we did have the road shut down. I want to show you what that live looked like now. Northbound lanes are open. It is still slow going, and they're still working on getting that tanker off the roadway there. So you can see we got backups both south and north. We also have a backup as well. We had a stalled vehicle here, I-70 eastbound, coming into the south split, and you can see the backup there. Normally it's backed up just because it's coming in the split, but we tacked on a stalled vehicle. So those are the two big issues right now, other than the volume that we typically see. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll have the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right, Sean, thank you. Major construction is coming to State Road 32 in Hamilton County. Anybody who drives in Hamilton County knows about this stretch of road here. And tonight, you have a chance to learn more and weigh in on this. You're looking essentially at the 5-mile stretch between Westfield and Noblesville, a very busy thoroughfare. And that could soon look a whole lot different.
Samantha Johnson is live there this afternoon. And Sam, can you share more about this public hearing that's happening tonight regarding this?
Yeah, that's right, Felicia and Dustin. That public hearing is here at Prairie Waters Event Center in Westfield, which sits right along State Road 32. The doors open now in less than an hour, coming up at 5 o'clock. And INDOT officials tell me they want to hear directly from the people who travel down State Road 32 every day, because this is a years-long project with some big-time changes. Improved to Move State Road 32 is all about taking this one-lane state road and turning it into two each direction, widening the roads and turning stoplights into roundabouts at 8 intersections in just 5 miles.
Right now, that area, all of those intersections in between River Road and East Street, see about 110 crashes a year. And 70% of those are rear end crashes, which is what we typically see when we have a traffic signal.
Big Hoffa's Barbecue has a front row seat to the upcoming work.
We're a family-run, owned, operated business. We've been about to celebrate 25 years.
And it's the eclectic menu and barbecue favorites that keep people coming back.
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. We get lots of teams from Grand Park.
There's only one way in and out of Big Hoffa's, and that's State Road 32.
You kind of have to drive right past us to get one way or the other. It is creeping its way closer to us, so we will see what challenges arise as that happens.
INDOT says State Road 32 will remain open for the entirety of the project, even if it takes a minute to get where you're going. Businesses and property owners can even request a one-on-one meeting to learn more about how it will impact them. This project will include crosswalks and signals for pedestrians, too.
We are definitely considering pedestrians here because we know that this is really a booming area and we're seeing a lot of housing there, we're seeing a lot of shopping there.
Hoping that people are willing to stick with it and get over here as best they can.
So here's the catch with this project. It is still at least 2 years from the possibility of construction. So plenty of heads up with this one. Ideally, if the timeline works out just right, construction on State Road 32 would wrap up in 2030. So guys, we have a link to learn more right now at WTHR.com. If you can't come out to the public hearing, that presentation starts at 5:30. If you can't make it here tonight, you can still share your thoughts on this project now through June 26th. We've got that link for you on our website.
Okay.
Should be really nice when it's done in like 5 years. or
Yes,
so.
yes. Hold your horses.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sam. Let's get to Jenny.
Thanks, Felicia. Still ahead at 4, preparing future teachers with a new fast track program. We'll tell you how UIndy hopes to solve the critical shortage of STEM educators for our kids here in Indiana.
We got showers and thunderstorms to our west. We'll have the timeline and the relief that follows coming up.
Inflation is at the highest rate in a few years. Ahead, I'll tell you what's the deal with the categories costing you the most money, plus what it means for interest rates.